My name is Lynn Ellerby, and I had meningitis. I had viral meningitis at the age of 21. First was a very severe headache for several weeks. Got progressively worse. The next thing, the thing that sent me to the emergency room was numbness from my elbows down through my hands. I could not use my arms or hands, and my speech was affected. I could not speak clearly. My words were jumbled. Initially, I went into the emergency room with the numbness and the speech problems and the severe headache. They did x-rays and thought that I had a severe sinus infection. Sent me home with an antibiotic, but told me to follow up with my regular doctor. From this point, the symptoms just got worse. The numbness would come and go at different parts of my body. And so I was referred to a neurologist who then did a CAT scan in his office. At the time of the scan, I was not having any symptoms, so nothing really showed up precisely on the CAT scan. After this, the next day, I had severe numbness throughout different parts of my body, severe headache. Went back into the emergency room, and that's when the neurologist performed a spinal tap, which is a very painful procedure. Very long needle is inserted in between the vertebrae in your back. It's very tedious, very painful. If it is not inserted exactly right, it can paralyze you. But that was the only test that they could do to truly tell whether or not I had the viral meningitis. The doctors never could pinpoint how I contracted the disease. It was viral, so it could be picked up through the air like other viruses. That they never could figure out how I actually got it. The recovery process was very lengthy. I was in the hospital for 10 days, had IV medication administered 3 times a day, and it took about an hour for it to drip in. It was painful, and you had to lay still for that amount of time. After the 10-day in the hospital, I was home, but pretty much bedridden for several more weeks. Had no energy, still did not feel well. I went back to work full time after probably about a month, but it was 3 months before I was at 100% for a full days. I do have one lasting effect. In my left ear, I have a noise that is sort of like a heartbeat sound, throbbing sound when I get overly tired or overstressed. But I'm very, very fortunate because one of a lasting side effect of viral meningitis is deafness.
Adolescents and young adults have an increased incidence of meningococcal disease, accounting for 15% of all cases. 1 out of 7 cases among adolescents will result in death. Among those who survive meningococcal disease, approximately 20% suffer long-term consequences such as brain damage, kidney disease, hearing loss, or limb amputation.
Becky'd walk in a room and the whole room would light up because she was smiling.
Becky was a big hugger. That's just what she did.
Just every time She'd come home from school or come home from here or there. She'd come and give me a hug.
She was an amazing volleyball player. She never gave up until the last ball hit the floor.
I'm Bob Werner.
And I'm Dee Dee Werner. We lost our daughter Becky to meningitis.
Becky was 20 years old in her last year of college.
She was ready to hit life with full gusto.
Out of nowhere, she came up one day and said, "Daddy, I don't feel good." And it looked like the flu.
Well, there we were running down the hallway to the ICU unit, and Becky just said to me, "What's the matter with me?" And I said, "I don't know, Becky. I don't know. I don't know."
I mean, she started feeling sick on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, she was gone. It happens that fast. We didn't know about meningitis. We didn't know it could take her so quickly.
Never once, I don't think we ever thought that she was going to die. And I couldn't do anything about it.
Parents need to know. They need to know about meningitis. You need to ask your healthcare providers about the vaccine. Becky's gone, and we miss her hugs. So telling others about her life is how we show our love. It's our way of hugging her.
Approximately 25,000 cases of bacterial meningitis occur annually in the USA. Special thanks to the Becky Werner Foundation. Visit their site at www.stampoutmeningitis.com. For more helpful information, please visit www.voicesofmeningitis.org.